Are you tired of Japanese manga and anime? Do you think it is childish and literally childish? Are you tired of shut-in neat otaku? He's just there. No ambition, no magical skills. He's the only human in a land of fluffy-eared people. He doesn't want a harem, or to get mixed up in politics, and just wants to be left alone. Both happen, of course, to his exasperation. Isekai need a change of protagonist. Isekai worldbuilding often doesn't make sense. No country would delegate its maintenance and defense to freelancers and mercenaries. It's more efficient to have an army. Powerful mages are allowed to roam freely without restraint or supervision. The monsters just spawn wherever they darn please. In a realistic world, they would have been driven out by civilization. The isekai hero's op ability is a bigger existential threat than the Demon King. I know a lot of people want a change of setting for isekai, but I want to emphasize that the medieval Europe's high fantasy JRPG thing isekai has going isn't the problem. After all, zombie apocalypse genre is always set in the same place, but it took 3 decades to start getting stale. Isekai managed it in just one. I think the problem with isekai is the protagonists. I don't just mean they have no personality. I mean they all have the same personality. All of them are interested in anime, LNs, video games. All of them were losers before they came over. It's all pandering to its audience. For reals, think back on all the top isekai. Re:Zero, obvious otaku. Same with Kazuma from Konosuba, and MC from Mushoku Tensei. Slime, our protag's dying words are, "Wipe my hard drive," and he comments on how he was going to be a great sage in 2 more years of virginity. Protagonist of Overlord almost lived in his MMO before he transported there. If the protagonists were different types of nerds, it would be interesting, but they all know what an isekai is. None of them are nerds for carpentry or really into mahjong. An example of a nerd who isn't into anime is Ascendance of a Bookworm, wherein a librarian gets transported. If I transported the average isekai protag into Ascendance's world, it would instantly be a generic isekai. For another example, Yujo Senki. In the saga of Tanya the Evil, Tanya is the living embodiment of HR, "We're here to protect the company, not you," and he gets pushed in front of a train by the dude he fired the same day. In World War I Germany plus magic, his main conflicts are with attempting to reason his way through a very illogical world, and to deal with being X. If the average isekai protag were transported, they would be praised by being X, and they would gather a harem and it would be boring in under 5 minutes, regardless of the awesome World War I aesthetic. Isekai protagonists are all the same variety of anime-loving weeb, and that's what's making it so boring and generic. All I want to say is end this toxic hamster wheel cycle and liberate yourself with Korean and Chinese manhwa and manhwa. Now you might be asking yourself, what is this manhwa and manhwa? Well, see the part 2 of the video, in which you will not regret ditching manga and anime 100% guarantee.